Hey everyone, very excited to share this video today. This is about the 5 drawings. Full credit goes to Ingrid Lill for inspiring me about using more drawing with my clients in their marketing. And so a good chunk of this exercise comes from her. You can check her out, ingridlill.dl, I think. Anyways, Ingrid Lill coaching drawing. If you Google, you'll find her her website. Lill is her last name. Fantastic stuff. Here's one of the challenges I've seen over the years with people working on their niche in particular, and I've been doing this exercise in my puttering sessions, is when people are working on their niche, they often do a bunch of niching exercises, my own included, and they get overwhelmed because they have pages and pages and pages of notes, of written text. And one of the ways you can cut through that is to draw it out. And there are 5 drawings that I want to recommend. I'm going to show you the overall structure, then I'll give you sort of an example of what each of the drawings can be, though it's going to vary based on the situation. Okay, so these are the 5 drawings. So if you're struggling with your niche, consider doing these drawings. And if you're watching this before doing a puttering session with me, we may do this on the call, but if you can bring this to the call, we'll get further. So let's just imagine these are 5 pieces of paper and they're all next to each other. Okay. So we've got A and B. We've got C and Z. And then we've got a bridge. Yep. Between A and B. That's the structure we're looking at. So for drawing number A, for the first drawing, is always we start here. This is island A in my model. Island A meaning what's their problem, what's their symptom, what's the situation they don't like. And so what we do for this drawing, for A, is we want to draw your ideal client, the kind of person you most want to work with, at their breaking point, at the point where they think a few things. 1, something must change. It must change now. And I need help. Yeah. In this photo, it should be like a photo though. You know, you could show it to your ideal client and they would say, oh my God, that's me. That's like a photo of me last night. You want to have them, but what you don't want to have is just them floating in space, crammed with a bunch of words. I want to know when, and I want to know where. We want to start with that. For example, the when. I mean, what time of day is it? Is it morning? Is it evening for them? Is it summer? Is it winter? When is it? Monday, Friday, weekend? Also, where are they? Are they lying in bed at 3 a.m.? Are they on the bus on their way to work? Are they on a walk? Are they dancing out at a club? When is it that the problem really is there for them? What's that breaking point? What's a moment that they would look at and say, yeah, that's why I came to you, was exactly this situation. You also probably want to have a little thought bubble. And in that thought bubble, I really recommend some sort of swear word, just to keep it real. They're saying something to themselves at this point, like, what the, I'm tired of this shit. Whatever they're saying something to themselves in that moment. Like they're a couple that's having trouble. Joe Byron Russell did this beautifully on the headline on her homepage. Just what happened to us? In this case, I'd put a swear word, like what the fuck happened to us? The reason for the swear word, by the way, is just because when people are in pain, sometimes I've seen people write these things out and they write things that nobody would ever actually say to themselves in a moment of frustration, like, how can I shift the paradigm I'm under? That's not what they're saying. I promise you that. And we want to see also maybe there are certain objects around them. Now, these may be certain books they've been reading. before coming to see you. Maybe they got a juicer. Maybe they have a stack of unpaid bills. Maybe they've got, you can see their laptop with, 3,000 unopened emails. Maybe they've got whatever it is. What are the physical things associated with your issue? And then there might be, probably are, other people. And those people also might be saying things, about them. They might be saying, oh, I can't believe it. What a waste of space. What a loser. They may not be actually saying those things, but these may be the things that this person is fearing that these people are saying. So you want to draw a picture that really captures the current real life situation of your ideal clients. Again, that they would look at and say, man, it's like you've been spying on me. That's exactly how it is. This is where the wound and niche connection can be so important. Because if you've actually lived through this yourself, if you've gone through this experience, then this is easy to draw because you've been there. You know what it's like. So basically we're trying to draw Island A in a picture. Not, a picture's worth 1,000 words. We're not trying to do an essay here. Are you the kind of person who's struggling with this and did, a long litany of symptoms? See if you can get it in one image. And if you just set a timer for 5 minutes, just start drawing, see what comes, keep adding details. Just keep going until you feel like, yeah, that's it. That's it. And you genuinely, practically might go and share this with somebody who's been a dream client and say, when you first came to me, were you in this kind of situation? By the way, if you have no idea what this is, one of the questions you might want to start asking your clients when they come is, why me? Why now? What's happened that made this relevant? Why today? Why not wait? Because people usually, they hit breaking points. There's something that happens where they think, oh, I got to deal with this, Why are you getting your fence fixed now? Because it was sagging, because it was leaking. Well, animals were getting in, animals were getting out. My neighbors built a more beautiful fence and all of a sudden mine looked terrible and my neighbors were giving me the stink eye. Those are a number of examples of breaking points. So something has happened to your people at this moment where they say, okay, this has gone from this should change to it must change, from it should change someday to now, and I need help. I cannot do this on my own. You want to capture that moment in a drawing, in an image. Okay, the second one we do, this isn't a prescriptive order necessarily, but we want to do B. This is Island B. And Island B, of course, is a result that they are craving. And this is the mirror image of Island A. So it'll be a lot of the same stuff, but now, what do they want it to be? This is the pain, the symptom they don't want, but this is us drawing the flip of it. But again, what objects do they have around them? What are people saying about them in this imagined future? Where are they? When is it? What are they saying to themselves? Those things are still there, but now it's flipped to be a picture that if you were to show it to your ideal client, they would say, oh my God, that's exactly what I want. Oh, if only, I would do anything to have that result. So we do the mirror image, yeah? So same. And this is one of the ways I can tell if somebody's niche is on point is these two should be the opposite of each other. Because if up here is like, I have headaches, and down here, Island B is I'm in a loving relationship, it doesn't make any sense. I don't see the relationship between the two. But if it's like, I'm in pain, I'm pain-free, I'm lonely, I'm in a relationship, I'm broke, I've got money, that's easy to understand. If you want to get the A+ on this, see if you can then distill this down into a single sentence. And this into like 7 words here and 7 words here. What's the problem? What's the result? Wicked bad acne, visibly clearer skin. There you go. Three words. See if you can really distill this down to a few words. What's the heart of the issue? What's the main thing that they want solved? So A and B. So that's probably familiar if you're familiar with my work. But now what we can do is we can also do this bridge, and this is what I got from Ingrid Lill. So this I'll put here. So this bridge, this gets into my work around point of view and Ingrid's work. But if you, I should actually do this a little different. We want to imagine a bridge divided into 3 sections, right? There. So we've got the beginning of the bridge, the middle of the bridge, the end of the bridge. This bridge is between island A and B. So what we're saying is if somebody's here and they got this pain, this problem, they're on island A and they want to be on island B, if you had to give them 3 steps, what would they be? So for me, if I were to do that, now I also represent this in my little pyramid drawing, where there's 3 levels of it, but I'd say, okay, you're on island A and you're feeling the marketing isn't working for you. You know you need to market, but you're not doing it. You're really struggling with it, and it just feels bad. You keep putting it off. You feel kind of in a box of marketing ideas that do not feel authentic and good for you. You want to get out of that box here on island B and be free and be yourself, find your voice, market in a way that make people smile, that's really beautiful, and you can feel good about, sleep easy at night, and that's also effective. That's getting you clients. That's what you want. Here's the 3 things I'd recommend. Number 1, you've got to do what I call the deep work. The deep work means you got to look at your ethics. You've got to look at your niche and really hone that. You got to articulate your point of view. Those 3 things go in the deep work, and this is what most people ignore. This is the part that most people completely skip over in their marketing. They jump right to other stuff. The second, you've got to do what I call the structural work. Right, you've got to do the structural work. This is the business model stuff. You've got to look at the architecture of the business, because the profitability of your business does not come from this. It comes from this. And it doesn't come from this, it comes from this. You've got to build a lattice work, a framework, like you can see here in the yurt I'm in. This lattice work here on the wall. This is what holds the thing up. This is what keeps it together. If we don't have this, the whole thing crumbles. So we have to do the structural work. And then the last thing is we have to do what I call the hubs work. But this is the external work. You got to get out there and connect with the people your people are connected with. Those 3 things in that order. If you do those 3 things in that order, very good chance you're going to get from island A to island B in good shape. And again, what's island A? Marketing feels terrible and it doesn't work for me. To island B, marketing feels good and it works. I'm getting the kind of clients, more of them, that I want. So that's the bridge. So that's the challenge then. Once you've drawn the island A and B, what are those 3 steps? If you had to distill it down to 3 steps, what would they be? Now what are these ones? So this I don't talk about in my work as much, but you can find this, marketingforhippies.com, island Z, and marketingforhippies.com, or .com/island Z, marketingforhippies.com/island C. You'll see a couple things, and this is talked about much more in my ebook, The Art of Relevance. You can learn more there. But so what is island C? Or this picture? This is a kind of new possibility. This is something they're not imagining. So for example, island A is my lawn looks terrible and my neighbors are not happy about it. Island B, my lawn looks beautiful. Oh my gosh, my neighbors are applauding as they walk by. I'm the envy of my neighborhood. Island C, we've got a food forest, a biodynamic, permacultured, organic food forest. But nobody's craving that. That's the difference. Island B, people are craving, right? That's the main thing. This is a result that people are craving. And again, this is one that you've drawn out as an image. But here, this is a new possibility they're not craving. It's one you introduce, that they hear about from you first. So that's good to draw. It's good to be clear. What is it that you see that is possible for them that they don't see yet? A picture that if you show them, it's like, would you be interested in this? Often they would. They've just never thought about it. They've never considered that they could have that. So there's that. And then Island Z. This is very common, very useful. Island Z is, it's their fear of where they're going to end up if they don't deal with Island A. The example I often use is if you've ever had anyone in your family get Alzheimer's, and you just think, and you see them and how they live, and you think, God, don't ever let me get there. But there's a sense of, oh, if I don't change my ways, if I don't look at this, if I don't take care of my brain and stay in good shape and eat well, maybe I'm going to end up there. Well, my father died of a heart attack at this age, and if I don't take care of myself, I could see myself going the same way. Or you grew up in a home where there was a lot of abuse, and you think, God, please don't let me end up like them. There are these fears, and these are real for people. And that's good to know, to draw out what is their fear? Like, if I don't really deal with Island A in a substantial way, I'm scared I'll end up, homeless, alone, depressed, sick, broke, all of the above. What is the fear? But it's got to be tied to this. This isn't just what are all the human fears that we have. This is if they don't deal with Island A properly, where they're going to be. And again, we're drawing that out as an image. By the way, lower your standards on drawing. Really, we're just talking stick figures. This does not have to be fancy. But there is something about engaging the creative part of your brain. Yeah, we're all so logical brained, dominant in this society. And there's something about doodling and just drawing that lets things come out. Do multiple drafts until you feel like you've got it. But we start here. Spend almost all of your time on Island A, because that's the seed. Or it could be your people, it's not the problem is so big, they just have a real result they're craving. Whichever is most real for them, start with that, spend most of the time, because that becomes the seed, the heart of it. And then we start to, once we've got those, then we can come up the bridge and we can think, is there anything beyond Island B we'd want to draw them to? Yeah, so it's like there's this connection there. And also from Island A, is there a fear of where they'll end up if they don't deal with it? All of this can be very helpful in sales copy on our website when we're doing a presentation. And of course, all of these can be used to manipulate people. All of this information can be used to manipulate people. Because with Island A, you can stick in the knife and twist it around and say, oh my God, you don't want to end up here. And if you don't do what I say, you will. And the kind of fear porn of the marketing world. And the new possibility can also be an overhyped something. Oh yes, absolutely, you can get this result. Just believe me, just trust me. This is going to happen for you. And a kind of posturing. And then, but what happens if it doesn't work out? What happens if you don't get the result? Well, then they feel like it's them. And it's a kind of gaslighting. They feel like they failed, not that you overpromised. So there's of course danger in all of this. But the way we do it is we say, look, we just acknowledge it. Are you struggling with this issue? Yeah. You don't have to punch the bruise anymore. Just acknowledge it. Are you wanting this result? And the more specific we get, the better. Most of the hype and manipulation in marketing comes when these two are actually very vague. Because then that's all that's left to establish relevance is hype. To make it seem important. But if you can get these very specific, it's just a very simple, do you have this problem? Do you want this result? Okay. Well, here's my take on how you can get here, right? And in fact, I think not only is this possible, I think this is possible. And that's where I'd like to help you get, but we can at least help you get here. But there is more that's available if you're interested. And, again, in the beginning, you could say, hey, do you have this problem? And you're secretly scared this might happen. And then you can just tell them the truth. You can say, look, here's the likelihood of that happening. Now, it might be very likely. And then just tell them the truth about that. You say, well, that is actually where I see most people go. Or you can say, look, most people actually don't end up there. It's a reasonable fear. It makes sense. And it's about a 1% chance you will. And of course, this left on its own, the prognosis is not great. This gets more into the marketing, the point of view marketing work around diagnosis, prognosis, and prescription. But it's not a bad thing to just acknowledge the prognosis. Yeah, if you don't deal with it, here's where it's like, this is the worst case scenario, this is the best case scenario, just to be even-handed, level-headed about it. No need to hype it up. Yeah, so 5 drawings. These are the 5 drawings we got. Start with Island A. What's the problem your people have? Okay, what do they want instead of that they're craving? And again, in both of these, there should be some urgency. Now, I want this problem solved now. I want this result now. Great. And one of the things that drives the urgency is that there's a fear that this may get worse, which again, you may corroborate because that may be true, or you may allay and say, look, you don't have to worry about that, but it's painful enough. This is bad enough to deal with. But it can have people feel seen to acknowledge what their concern is, that you get it, that you understand where they're at and why this is so concerning. And you can draw that out, a picture of what that would look like. Again, you're using the same elements here, objects, same people, or maybe less of those people. Yeah, and then the new possibility, you're using a lot of the stuff maybe from here, from what they're craving, but expanded, deepened, shifted. And then this drawing of the 3 steps of the bridge. And if you put this then, bridge in between Island A and B, you can see the order, right? They're here, and behind them, right behind them is this fear of where they're gonna end up. Where they wanna be is here. They can't quite see as far as this, but you have drawn a bridge, 1, 2, 3, to get to Island B. And maybe from there they can see Island C. But if I have those 5 drawings when I'm talking with somebody and they make sense and they're clear, everything gets way easier. Because now I know the heart of your niche, I know the core of your point of view, and we've done a lot of the deep work. Yeah, and again, the deep work, that's the ethics, the niching, the point of view. And if you relate to this in the proper way, of we're just trying to get to the truth of is it a fit, not trying to get the sale. We're not using this material to get the sale, to convince somebody to buy. That's not the purpose of it. We're doing it to establish, is this a fit or not on both sides? For them to look at what we can offer, and we'll be checking them out. This is the occasion for a conversation to see if it's a fit. So that's the 3. Ethics, okay, if we're using these in the right way, it's ethical. Niche, that's what A and B are, is the niche, and a bit of Island Z, that's the niche. And then we got the point of view, and this bridge, and also Island C is a bit of the niche and the point of view combined, because this is what you see as possible that they don't. It's a bit of a blind spot. If you can bring me these 5 drawings in a coaching session, or any business coach, whether it's me or somebody else, if you can bring these and this kind of clarity, you will be amazed at the difference it makes in their capacity to help you. If you do not have these things clear and a marketing coach says they can help you, run. If you don't have these things and you're joining a program that's how to do some big fancy thing, and they don't even ask you if you understand what these things are, run. If they don't think you need to be clear about what Island A and B are, or that you don't have some framework, some point of view, some process, run. I've seen too many people sign up for programs where these things, it's not only do they not help people with them, because not every program can do that, but they don't even acknowledge that there's help needed with these. But if you have them, every single graphic designer, social media coach, sales coach, marketing coach, business coach will breathe a sigh of relief, because they'll actually be able to help you at that point. So I think that's it. That's what I wanted to do. If you want to see examples of this, check out Ingrid's website. I'll put the link below. But Ingrid Lill, Lill, business coach with a pencil, is her moniker. Check her out. You'll see a lot of examples of what these types of drawings can look like. And if we do a puttering session together, we'll be delving probably into this, some of these drawings at least. And I'll probably give you this as homework. So I thought I'd record this video so you could have it all at once. 25 minutes, I think that's long enough. Thanks everybody so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like these videos, please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. Give it a like, comment on it. It all helps the algorithm, spreads it. And of course, please share these videos if you like them in your WhatsApp threads and Facebook groups, or wherever you share these things. Thank you so much.